Hello, everyone. Today, we're going to be featuring Dr. Miguel de la Torre. He is an Iowa School of Theology faculty. He's an international scholar, documentarian, novelist, academic author, and scholar activist. Dr. de la Torre focuses on social ethics within contemporary U.S. thought, specifically how religion affects race, class, and gender oppression. So going off of that, you want to talk a little bit more and expand on your current scholarship and areas of academic interest?
Mm. When I began my scholarship, I was very much interested in the intersection of race, class, and gender. And that has been basically foundational in all of my writings. In the last decade or so, my focus moved more towards post-colonial studies. And in that process, it moved further from a Christocentric way of doing ethical analysis to more of a post-colonialist understanding of what ethics means to different cultures. So in that respect, I think my scholarship has moved in new directions. More recently, I'm working now on a third book, which deals with a revolutionary thinker named Jose Marti, which has very little or nothing to do with religion at all. So a lot of my work now is also moving towards Latin American and Latino studies itself. I don't think that means that I'm giving up on religion, but it does mean that when I do my ethical analysis, it is a lot more open to other religious traditions and other non-religious traditions as well.
Yeah, thank you. And going off of that, then, even though you said you're really not necessarily moving away from religion, but what do you think then is the biggest challenge that religious studies might need to tackle in this current age?
I think in this moment of time, the biggest challenge facing religious studies is the predominance of white Christian nationalism that has literally sucked up all the oxygen in any discussions dealing with religion. While before one can have different views, now it seems that whatever Christianity is, it means a white, racist, homophobic type of a belief system. So I find many people who are Christians now saying, well, I'm not that kind of a Christian. And the fact that one has to say that statement shows the predominance of this white nationalist Christianity has had on the religious discourse.
Yeah. Yeah, that's like really important. And do you think, obviously you teach here with the Joint PhD program in the study of religion. Do you think that the focus here on multidisciplinary or interdisciplinary studies within the JDP can help address that, or no?
Ideally, it's supposed to. I
Sure.
mean, that is the goal, that we not only address this, but we also address the rise of nationalism with other religious traditions as well, whether
Mhm.
it be Judaism as a form of Zionism and what's going on in Palestine right now, whether it be Hinduism, nationalism, and what's going on in India against the Muslims. So Christianity is not the only tradition that is being captured by nationalism. And as an ethicist, my interest is what becomes the response to these traditional religions when they're captured by a nationalist fervor.
Mhm. Yeah. Great. Really like huge topics there to be thinking about. And so for people who might be interested in coming into a religious studies PhD program somewhere, in thinking about these broader topics you brought up, is there any advice you would want to give to those individuals?
I would say that all too often, for those who want to bring about change within culture, And many individuals who are scholars from minoritized communities see themselves as scholar activists, which is humorous because many within the dominant Eurocentric way of doing religion has this erroneous idea that you cannot be a scholar and an activist at the same time, thus dismissing any attempt to transform society. This is so Eurocentric in its thinking, where the focus is purely on thought, while the rest of the world, specifically the global South, understands that academic thinking is useless if it doesn't actually do something to help humanity. So I say this to, I give this little background to answer your question and saying that regardless of what your religious tradition is, or even if you have no religious tradition, if you want to transform society, if you want to make a difference, you have to understand the role religion plays in the political ethos of this country. I mean, a lot of these laws that are being passed, these anti-woke laws, these anti-transgender laws, these anti-women's reproduction laws, are all rooted in religion. And if we don't understand that, how that functions, we're not going to be effective in bringing a liberative message to what's going on in society today.
Yeah, I completely agree. And we're back again to that multidisciplinary side of things and the importance of that. Thank you so much for answering those questions. If you want to, one last final question, a little bit more fun is, what hobbies do you enjoy doing outside of the academic sphere?
Basically, I love hiking. Matter of fact, I'm preparing now to do El Camino, which is 15 miles a day for like 30 days. So yes, I do like hiking, especially long distance hiking, and especially going through different types of terrains. So that's a fun hobby I enjoy.
Yeah.
And while I don't call it a hobby, I also really enjoy writing.
Mhm.
It really feeds my soul when I'm sitting down poring over books and trying to make sense of it.
Yeah, great. Well, again, thank you so much for your time. And this was featuring Dr. Miguel De La Torre of the Joint PhD program in the study of religion. Thanks so much for your time.
Thank you for having me.